Hi, little guy. 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 Hey. Hey. Okay, we're into week 3 of this build. I've been battling rain. As you can tell, everything around me is wet. It's been raining a bunch, so we're going to take a little bit of time right now in between a rainstorm. And I'm going to add, since the wall is going to be right here, and I unhooked those, I'm going to add another 2x6 floor joist right here just for a little bit extra strength. Not that it needs it, but I'm just gonna add it, make me feel better. So I'll have two 2x6s here, so basically a 4x6 along this front edge of the building. And then I'm going to finish nailing down the foam supports, and then I'm going to cut foam and put it in there. So we'll see how much we can get done between now and when the rain starts again. $14.25. Well, there you have it. Sorry I didn't film more of putting insulation in, but my battery went dead and I didn't realize it. So I got this in. Tomorrow it's not supposed to rain, so we're supposed to get a little lighten up. So tomorrow I'm going to come by and spray foam all the seams, and then start putting the decking down. I've got to put some glue on and get that all done, and then this whole floor will be done and we're ready to start framing. So luckily I had a couple hour break today in the weather. Let's get it done. Get more done. I want it all done. Okay. There we go. Well, I got the deck on. It's 12 by 16. Like I said, it'll be 2 rooms, 8 foot wide, 12 foot long. I put this little 4-piece in upside down and on top of the foam, spray foam, and put a nail in it. Put a couple nails in it before I realized I put it upside down. I was trying to hurry. Weather hasn't been the best today. It starts raining, blowing, and as soon as you get everything out of the rain, it stops raining. So here we go. Probably asking why I use spray foam underneath. One, I had to seal the cracks along the foam insulation panels that I did. My old tubes of decking adhesive went bad over the winter, so I did some research, and spray foam is actually the new thing to use as an adhesive. They make a special type just for gluing decking down, but the regular stuff, since I was using it, it's very sticky and it's going to adhere, and it's better for the weather that we have up here. So now it's going to be on to cutting the 2x4s to length and starting to frame a wall. We'll see how much I can get done today. Otherwise, I got a good day, clear day coming on Monday, which will be in a couple of days, and we'll get hopefully all 4 walls done by then, and maybe even the center wall. I've got my bottom and top plate kind of laid there. It's an 8 foot and a 4 foot both ends. Measured out. I did leave a gap in the middle where I'm not putting any studs, and the reason is I got a window that's going to go in here. It starts 5 feet off the back wall, which gives no more than enough room for a queen size bed to the edge of the window. And I'll frame that in after I stand it up, because remember, I got to stand this wall by myself. Gonna make some California corners for it. I'm cutting 2x4s at 7 foot 6 inches, since I'm using 2-inch lumber, true 2-inch lumber. That'll be 6 inches, 2 top plates, 1 bottom plate, 6 inches off of 8 foot is 7.5. So that's where I'm at. I can still do math. Now I got to get the compressor going and start nailing. one wall. Get her stood up. I got it stood up, kind of hairy by myself. Remember, that's going to be the window there. I left that made it easier leaving that unframed. That was less weight for me to lift. And the top has come apart, but that's okay because it's just leaning out. I can straighten that up when I put the top plate on. But now I just got it anchored. I got it straight down the line, and I've got some 5-inch or 6-inch log screws that I'm going to use and put it in straight. I am screwing right into the floor joist, not the rim joist. There. That should hold overnight. Level it up when I get the back wall up. Now I can frame the other wall. Hopefully we can get the two sides up today. It's starting to get late in the day, but we do. Got quite a bit done. Put the whole deck down today with 2 trips to town, which was terrible, especially with gas prices. And then 1 framed up. At least I'll get the lumber at least cut for the other wall. I don't know if I'll get it framed up tonight, but we'll get it cut, and then we'll either pop it up tomorrow or Monday we'll get all 4 walls done. Back to cutting some 2x4s to length. You can see I nailed this other one together. Same as that. I went ahead and put part of the top plate on to hold that together. I got here this morning and pulled that one together and put part of the top plate on there too, just to hold it together. stood. It's not level this way. Just got to make sure my distance is right before I screw it down. I'm just restarting my screws. I'm not going to take them the way they have them. I'm going to 3 per wall. Or 2 people is handy. Even though this is a fat boy tape, it will. I like it when a plan comes together. Well, there's two walls stood. Got to frame this one to one again. It's 46 by 48, so I'll cut the cripples and put. So my windows I have are 46 inches wide by 48 inches high. So I came up with my sill plate, and yeah, I know there's some wane right there, but I can fix that later on. With my sill plate for the window is at 32 inches, and it's 46 inches wide. problem I ran into is because I did this at 46 inches, I'm going to have to put another stud on the outside and cut this to make it my jack stud to hold the header I'm going to put in. But that's okay, at least I've got it here, which is going to make this wall more stable. Everything's a little wet because of rain that we had the last couple of days. It was supposed to be a really good day today, so we will see. I dadgummit, that one I didn't get square. I have to pull those two nails out. This one here's coming. Bummer, I hate it when that happens. Oh well, we'll fix that. Get on with it. Alright, what I'm going to do on the back wall is do it in two sections. The way I laid it out is there's going to be one stud right here that actually will nail to the California corner. But if you measure from the outside edge in, comes to 15 inches because I got two 2x4s. So that'll put it 16 center. So from there, I did what I normally do, and that's just go from this line over, and I got 16 centers on each. So I'm going to do this back section, get it stood up. I'm going to leave this board off because on the other one there's going to be another board, and I'll put the two boards together, which will lock this seam together. And then obviously on top, the top plate, I'll put a solid piece across the top to tie that gap together even further. So I've got to cut 7 2x4s 90 inches, which will make it 8 foot tall. So my 2x4 pile is getting a little low, but I believe I got enough to do at least the back wall and a partial layout of the front. I didn't figure the right amount for the doors and the windows to include triples, so I'll end up having to mill a little bit more. So I'm going to get these two back sections put up, get them done, start laying out the front, and then I'll get to milling. I have to mill the headers for above the windows anyways. So we'll get to finishing this. Okay, there's 3 walls. See how I put the back together, put it up in 2 pieces, and then put 2 2x4s together to kind of lock that in, and then of course the top plate will go across, tying it all into also. Made it easier to lift and fit in, plus it's going to give me a little extra support right in that center for the part going up to the peak of the rafters. I'll be doing a 4/12 pitch on this, so it'll be kind of steep, but I find that's the best for up here in the snow for these little cabins. And I know I did 2x4 construction, but this is not going to be in the winter time. This is going to be late spring, this time of year, all the way up into fall before the snow hits. pretty good. 12 2x4s out of one log. One of them's not worth much. It's got a lot of weight in it, but still, it's a good sized log. Looking good. Garbage. Pretty good looking 2x4s, I would say. Not bad for my first year of solid milling. Well, I got all my 2x4s cut. I stood the front wall. These will be window openings. I'll put the cripples and everything, frame that in. Jack studs for my 2 doors. Like I said, it's 2 different bunkhouses and another window over there. I didn't put those in yet because just of the weight of trying to stand it up. But I talked about using a string line to get it straight before, and I just kind of wanted to show you if you don't know what it is. I came around and hooked a string on this side of the bottom plate, wrapped it around, put a block of wood in here, and did the same at the other end down there. Then what I did was measure the distance, which was 2 3/16, and went all the way down and made sure the whole bottom plate was straight with 2 3/16 on the string line. So that bottom plate is plumb and straight. And that's kind of how I squared everything up on the bottom plates all the way around. So I think what I'm going to do, I've cut my headers for my windows. I milled those up too, 4x6s. And the only reason I'm using good solid 4x6s is because that's those 2 walls are bearing walls. I'm probably going to get those put up today. I'll get my jack studs cut from my door and possibly my windowsills put in on the front. I'm not going to put the center wall in yet until I know I've got a few days of good weather, because I keep getting rained on and I'm trying to keep my deck as dry as possible until I can get a roof put on this thing. So that's pretty much it. I mean, with all the rain I've had over the last few days, or actually the last week, at least I was able to get in and get 4 walls stood up and the extra milling done that I had to do. I don't know if you could hear me when I was up there. All the top plates are on. The doors and the windows are all framed in. I put the sheathing on the back side. I have 2 sheets for that. They'll come up 4 feet because metal will go on that, and then it'll be T111 above that. So it'll be the same thickness. So metal is going to come up to here. There'll be a cap that goes over the metal, goes up, and I'll put the T111 above that. The metal will hang down. It'll be 5-foot metal is what I'm going to get for the 3 side walls. So it'll hang down just about to here. To cover that 4 joists. These obviously will come off. They're just on there so I can put the OSB up. But there we go. We got the 2 back sheets up. Well, there we go. It's the end of week 3. I've got to cut out the window there, both sides, as you can see. That's a pretty easy fix. I decided instead of doing metal on the front, I'm just going to do T111 or some sort of siding on the front. Since this is covered, I'm not so worried about the snow buildup. I had a snafu with my windows. My windows have an exterior flange for fixing, so I have to get my siding all on before I can put the windows in, because otherwise it will teeter in and out. So I'm gonna have to come up with some T111. I want to get the whole thing sided before I do the roof. But that's kind of it. That's where we're at into week 3. I know it's been slow going. I've been doing some other projects while I'm doing this also. That and having to scrape by on some lumber and stuff. So this next week, I don't know if I'll be working on the cabin or not. It's just going to depend on a few things, but I am going to be doing the post holes, trying out my new auger for the fence around the garden, at least get those posts in. Also starting to build a outhouse. I will do that right over yonder. So you come out of this little cabin, you'll have a nice fancy outhouse right there. I've got to drop a couple of these old snags that are right here. I'll do that. That one big spruce right there is going to go down. It's damaged, and same as that one there. They're going to go down, and those will be saw logs. So we'll get those dropped in the next couple of days as well, and get kind of this mess cleaned up some. So I hope you enjoyed this week's work on the cabin. Maybe you learned something, maybe you didn't, maybe I'm doing something wrong. Let me know in the comments. God bless, hugs, and I'll see you on the next one.